Hey guys, so this year and the previous year have been filled with great printers, and we're spoiled for choice. If you're looking to get into 3D printing, there's a printer for you. However, have not tested all of them, but I tested a good amount of them. So here are my top three printers of 2026 so far. Hey guys, I'm nearly to 1,000 subscribers. Help me reach that point. Please like and subscribe. Thanks. These printers are the printers that I've tested and used and purchased myself from late 2025 to 2026. So the printer you're looking at is not on my list. It likely means I didn't test it. That includes like the H2D, H2C, the Core 1L. There's nothing against those printers. I just have not tested them. Some of the printers I'm saying that are great now and middle of the 2026 might not be the best at the end of the year. We'll see. But again, take that all in consideration when you're looking at my list. Again, these are just printers that I tested and purchased myself. Here is an honorable mention printer. And the only reason why it's in this category is because I have not had enough time with it. I typically want to do 250 to 500 hours on each printer. And that printer is the Anycubic S1 Max. I believe it's punching well above its price and class. To me, this printer is what the P1S was to the X1C. Let me explain. The Anycubic S1 Max doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have all the sensors and all the cameras that the H2S has or the H2D, but it delivers on a solid machine for the price. So that's why I said it's like Anycubic looked at the P1S, said, you know what, let's scale that up to 350, add in a heater, add in a decent to good AMS system, and let's put it out there. And then that's what I'm seeing so far. Almost all the prints that I've had on it, while not the greatest print quality, have been more than sufficient for if you plan on selling products or printing products to sell. It's been more than sufficient for that. I believe Anycubic delivered on giving us a P1S but bigger, and that the S1 Max is that answer. But time would tell if it hits my top three or even number one. We'll see. My third printer of the year is the Snapmaker U1. Let me explain. The U1 does a lot right. It introduced a tool changer for under $1,000. It has good to great print quality, but the main issue for me is that it doesn't come enclosed as standard. And now that might not matter to you, but for me and my print farm, I need an enclosed printer. I bought it just because I wanted to see what the hype was about. And in many regards, it does match that hype. It's still not enclosed, it's not heated, and I have been unable to test it with the filament that I normally use, which is ASA and ABS. Again, great printer. It has its bugs. I went through, there's videos on my channel you'll see where I talk about the bugs. The build quality is not all that great, but for a first entry in a new series from Snapmaker, it does hit a lot of the points that they set up to make, and it's a good printer, especially for under $1,000. But it's my third printer of 2026 so far. My second printer of 2026 is the Bamboo Lab H2S. Yes, I know this released last year, but I only got it this year. It is a bamboo printer. For better or worse, it is a bamboo printer, so it's going to give you great print quality. It's going to hold your hands in a lot of way. It's very sensitive. I mean, with all the sensors and cameras they put into this one, it is very sensitive. I had one print just didn't even start. It was supposed to be heating up the chamber. It was an ASA print, and it stood there waiting and maybe an extra 10 minutes after the chamber reached temperature, just not doing anything. That's a bug, I know. I canceled it, restarted it, and immediately started printing, and it did an amazing job on the print. The reason why it's not my top pick is because, again, it's sensitive And the value for the money, and I'm not even talking about the laser. Forget about the laser edition that I have. I'm just talking about the 1500 for the combo or 1300 for the standalone H2S. To me, it's the build volume is one of my nitpicks on this printer. They could have gone with the 350, they didn't. And then the second problem that not problem, but just they could have did a better job on was the bed. It doesn't heat evenly, but if you want it to heat evenly, you have to let it soak, but you really can't. So I believe for that $1,300, they should have done a better job with the build volume, and they should have gone with a better heater in the bed. You guys can argue with me down in the comments below, but while I have not had any prints fail because of it yet, I am very cautious of how I put prints on the bed because, again, I know how the bed heats. I want to have sufficient layer adhesion. So you kind of have to, when you're using this printer and printing on it, you kind of have to gauge of how you want to put your prints on the bed. It's a great printer. It's just not my top printer. I don't know if it's going to reach #1 this year, but you never know, especially if the other ones start developing problems. My #1 printer of 2026 so far is the Cheedy Max 4. Yes, I understand there's going to be people out there who say that the Max 4 has had issues. It's not great. It can't be compared to the H2S or the H2D. My unit, the printer itself, has been nearly flawless. The print quality rivals the H2S, actually succeeds it in multiple ways. You'll see that when in my comparison video of the prints that I have from the H2S, S1 Max, and the Max 4, you're going to see what I mean. But the main reason why I'm picking that is because Cheedy set out to make a light industrial 3D printer, and I believe they hit the mark on that. The Cheedy box, on the other hand, has some issues. So that is, but again, if you buy the printer itself without the Cheedy box, you're getting a really, really good printer that punches well above like, to me, it surpasses the H2S. In order to beat it, you would need the H2D. Whatever you want to print, you, in terms of almost anything you want to print on the Max 4, you can. The 370C nozzle allows you to print tons of filaments. And again, the quality, the print quality is something I want to emphasize, is how good it is. Especially if you add just a tiny bit of tuning and calibration to the filament, you're going to get prints that you can easily sell without any post-processing. And I believe Cheedy did their job with the printer. The Cheedy box is a bad mark on it. That aside, if you want to know more about my issues with the Cheedy box, watch some of my videos that I have on it. But again, the printer itself, I have to applaud Cheedy on finally giving a product that rivals one of their competitors, and they're a small company that finally produced a printer that can compete. And that's an important aspect of all these printers, is that they all compete, they all offer some type of innovation. And the bed on the Cheedy Max 4 is amazing. Oh my god, the bed. And, okay, couple that with this super glue PEI sheet, and prints are not coming off. Trust me, I have videos on that as well. Everything combined, it's an awesome printer, and I highly recommend it. I'm gonna have a full review on it soon. I'm just now waiting for Cheedy to send me a replacement for the Cheedy box. I'm telling you right now, it is going to be one of my recommendations. So with all that said, what is your top 3D printer of 2026 so far? You can even include printers from 2025, that's fine. But let me know, let us all know down in the comments down below what your top printer is, and tell me why. Tell me why you disagree with mine or you agree with my picks. Again, this is just for 2026 so far. Later on in the year, when I do my full video on my top 3D printers of 2026, things are going to change. Some of these printers might fail, or some of these printers just may eclipse the other one. But let me know down in the comments below. Like and subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.